Um, I just want to say namaste, everyone. And that means I acknowledge the divinity in you. I acknowledge the divinity in me. We're all really cool people. Um, and I have 5 minutes to just breeze through this. So I guess I'll start by talking to you about Peer Workers United. Is there a slide for that? Oh, yeah. Okay. So you could read that, and I'll just say that Peer Workers United, it's a support group for peer workers and for people interested in peer work. And we talk about all kinds of stuff, you know, some of it very heavy. Like we did talk about the issue of someone brought to our attention that the peer that they worked with, you know, had commit suicide, and we had a big discussion about that because that's the worst thing that could happen to any peer worker when that happens. And but we also talk about, you know, lighter stuff, just, you know, what we're doing, desserts, all kinds of stuff. But if we have to get heavy, we get heavy. And everything's confidential. So okay, let's go to the next slide. So, oh, here's a nice little quote from Margarita Johnson Tolson, who, like, you know, she's like, I value the Peer Workers United. And it's not just NYC Peer Workers United, it's like the whole country, or anyone who speaks English. We could have people from Australia there. We've had people from all over the States. I don't know if we've had any people internationally, but anyway, I only have 5 minutes, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, here's about the Friendship Project. This was an idea that came, oh, let's go to the idea slide. The idea was, with COVID and everything, people are so isolated sometimes, you know, and maybe they don't have friends, or maybe they don't have friends who are like positive influences on their life. So I thought, why don't we create a friendship project that involves volunteers as friends? It's peer-to-peer, and we can reach peers who are maybe isolated, struggling, with positive peers who are secure in their recovery and offering support and friendship. It's all about friendship, which is peer support and then some. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So first steps, let's breeze through these steps. Let's keep going, let's get all those steps. Okay, so this is an abbreviation of a presentation I did at Alternatives. I did like for 1 through 6 steps, and this is how the Friendship Project got started. So yeah, these are the first steps. Let's go to the next slide. Second steps, let's breeze through those things. Okay, here's an important slide, because in coming up with the Friendship Project, you got to know, is there anyone who's done this work before? And yes, Compeer has done similar work. They've been doing it for over 20 years. I don't know if you've heard of Compeer, but they involve like anyone from the community who wants to volunteer and work with people with mental health challenges. And our project is strictly peer-to-peer, people with challenges, and not just mental health, but substance abuse too, behavioral health. And we will work with people who are homeless and actively struggling with issues. And that sort of differentiates our project from Compeer. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So how has it manifested so far? Okay, I wonder, how has it manifested? Oh, we got 10, by the way, it's like a mustard seed right now. It's a tiny little project. I just started it like a few months ago, and here's where we are. So we have 10 volunteers, that's great. They've been interviewed, and they're awesome people, they're compassionate people. 2 volunteers are building friendships with their peers, which is, that's the hardest part, is to find a way to reach peers who are isolated. Because how do you find people who are isolated? They're isolated, which means they're sort of cut off. So that's the big challenge. And but we somehow, thanks to Fountain House, actually, 2 of our volunteers have been matched with peers who are, struggling. So let's see, are there any more bullets? Let's go through all those bullets. Okay, So how's it manifested? People are aware of what we're doing, and you know, it was recommended that I start a nonprofit around this. And a nonprofit, you know, yes, there's billion-dollar nonprofits, but there's also tiny nonprofits that are making little to nothing. We're one of those, and and I estimate by 2022 we'll be one of those. But we'll be doing good work. I want all 10 volunteers to be placed with peers and working and building friendships, and we'll see how it goes. We're learning as we go along. We have to develop policies and practices and all kinds of fun stuff. And with enough love and attention, the project will develop and grow. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hey Dan, how you doing there?
Hi.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. So, wow, we got a nice group here. So I don't know, did you all hear, I guess I'm assuming that you heard my 5 minutes and that maybe you have some questions, maybe you have some ideas, whoever, and now if the spirit moves you, please speak up. Otherwise, hold your peace and we'll just have some beautiful silence. But I think you can unmute yourself, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right, very good, very good.
Dan, may I mention that that I'm one of your co-facilitators for
Yes, of course.
So yeah, my name is Phil. I'm a certified recovery peer advocate, certified peer specialist, and so I helped Dan run the Peer Workers United meeting. I joined in November of last year, and it's a wonderful group for networking and support, and it's been a tremendous help for me personally. I just want to thank Dan for instituting that project and others. It's been tremendous help for people in the city, but also for folks who live outside the New York metro area, that they have ideas they can take back to, you know, wherever they live. So I encourage everyone, if they have questions, feel free to ask them.
You can ask them, or you could just introduce yourself, whatever you folks want to do. This is your group.
Can I just say something? I don't know why my name is coming up James Baldridge when my name is Susan. How do I change that?
I don't know. It might be a past life name, so you might have to be stuck with it.
It's actually my brother's name.
Oh, okay.
Weird. I just noticed it. I'm like, why does it say James?
Oh, let me see. I'll rename you. What's your name?
Susan. S-U-S-A-N.
Okay, got it.
I also want to make sure I get credit, proper credit.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about that, but you could ask Rita, and you should have Rita's email address, right?
Yeah.
So actually, if you click your name in the participant section, you would give the option of renaming yourself. So you click that, and then you can rename yourself.
Click what?
When you click on your name in the participant section, you will see 2 choices: raise hand and rename. If you click name, you can rename yourself.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, Pamela Spears.
Dan, I missed it. This is Epi Madonia. I'm new to the outreach and training program. And I wanted to ask you, I missed a little bit of your presentation. Can you go over it a little bit more in detail?
Oh, sure. First, there's Peer Workers United with Philip. He and I co-facilitate Peer Workers United support group. It's a support group for peer workers and also for people who are interested in peer work. And then there was the Friendship Project, which is coming into its own slowly but surely. And that the idea behind the Friendship Project is to connect peers who are like secure in their, quote unquote, recovery from behavioral health challenges, such as mental health challenges or substance abuse challenges, and pair them with their peers who are maybe more struggling, maybe very isolated. COVID is like all about isolation and quarantine, right? Well, some people have been in a COVID like for lots of their lives, especially after they entered the system. So the idea is for, peers, peer-to-peer friendship building for people who are, who really could use a friend.
Thank you for that.
Good morning. This is Miss Maria Nichols. I'm speaking to you from Embrace Recovery and Rehabilitation Services here in Rochester, New York. I am very, very concerned that we do not have the peer support established in Rochester, and we're not marketing and recruiting people to be peers. And then you got to market people who may want peer services. And any suggestions as to how to begin?
Yeah, you want to identify peers who might be interested in peer support work. Somehow you got to identify, you got to have, they can come to you through social media. I don't know, that's one way of letting people know that here's my, for example, just Facebook. Here's my Rochester peer support Facebook page, and then you sort of blast it out, or like at least let a few people know, and then they let other people know, and then everyone with computers will know, and then people with phones and computers, they'll become members of your group, and the group will expand and blah blah blah. But it could take years, and it takes dedication too, and it takes some knowledge of platforms like Facebook. But this social media has worked for me. And also, a lot of like peer work is really hard. It's emotionally draining. There's something called it's a fatigue, compassion fatigue. And like in our group, there was one time where a peer worker shared that their peer who they've been working with actually took their own life. I mean, these are sometimes like, and even if it's not that extreme, just suffering alone, just seeing someone suffer and not knowing what to do about it, is peer work is heavy, can be very heavy stuff at times, and it's not for everybody. So, and it doesn't, right now it doesn't pay well. It should pay. The emotional toll a job should take should reflect in the salary, I feel, but that is not the case with peer work. So a lot of peers go in to try to get their social work degree, so they have a higher pay scale and so forth. But yeah, so social media and word of mouth. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Daniel,
Hi, Carlos.
I just wanted to tell you that I pretty much enjoy the training.
Very cool, very cool. Welcome. It's nice to hear your voice. Carlos is my peer specialist, ladies and gentlemen. And he's been great. He's been very supportive of the Friendship Project, and has come up with some really good ideas that we're trying to implement with it.
Well,
So,
but I have to say that you've done all the work. As we spoke many times in the past, you could only do so much as far as providing somebody with the resources, but it's up to the individual to actually do what needs to be done. And so you have done a pretty good job. So I'm very impressed, and I have to commend you for this.
appreciative.
You know.
I want to add that for the woman who spoke earlier, um, yeah, I have a good friend and colleague of mine who lives in Rochester. His name is, I don't know if you heard of Chaku Mathai. He runs MHA over there. I'm trying to find his email address, but I can't at the moment. But he would be a great resource, I feel, to start, what you mentioned earlier, a peer support network up there, if that helps. I'm trying to find his email address right now.
And also for those of you in this small group of ours, if you want to be connected to the information that the projects that I'm working with, Friendship Project, also City Voices, which is media and community building, and Peer Workers United, please leave your email in the chat, and just you could just put your email address and then like Dan or Dan Frey or something like that.
Hi, Dan, this is Mariam. Did you need the PowerPoint at this session?
Say that again.
This is Mariam. Were you guys waiting for a PowerPoint at this session?
Waiting for a PowerPoint. I'm not sure what you mean.
For your session, did you have a PowerPoint that you were?
Oh yeah, just a couple slides we had.
Okay, so I can post them up for you.
Oh, are you with Rita?
I am.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, very cool. Let's go to the second slide. There's like a really nice quote that I want to share with folks. This is from Margarita Johnson Tolson. She's a certified peer specialist in New York. And she said, "The Peer Workers United support group leaves me with a feeling of acceptance. The peers are amazing." That means Philip is amazing. And it helped me to know I'm not alone, and they don't have to know you in person to give positive feedback. And this helps me big time. And I feel like if you're a peer worker, you know, maybe you'll have a good experience like Margarita at our group. I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Talk to people in my network. Yeah, you know, like I encourage you all, if you have a dream that you feel is a dream that can benefit the community, and it's an idea and you have it, like, oh my God, it's so fulfilling, so worthwhile to pursue that. It feels good, and it just is good. You know, it's like the Buddha would be proud, Jesus would be proud. I think Muhammad would be pretty proud too.
Yeah.